You are listening to the Main Event Moto podcast.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Episode 164, we're talking about dirt bike racing. You know why, Joe?
Why?
Because it's back. Sing the song.
Salt Lake City.
That's right. Dude, could you imagine you coming out with that song, knowing in advance that we would do the last 7 rounds? I mean, was this all set up from you? Did you know?
Hell yeah.
No, you didn't. I didn't know. I heard Glendale. I heard Houston. I heard, what was the last one I heard before that? St. Louis. And then boom, Salt Lake City. And we are back. It's going to be a good show. Fly Racing, Mika Metals, No Toil, EMT Racing, Viral Moto, Old Meat Creations. Thank you guys so much. And a huge shout out to motosport.com, All American Chevy of Killeen, Screen Printing Done, Guts Racing, Scott USA, and DRS Suspension with Race Tech. Joe, we got to figure something out, though. I'm going to be stuck there for 25 days. What are we going to do?
25 days in Salt Lake City.
Oh, my gosh. We got Domino's Pizza coming in, too. You know why? Because we have a full house. It's going to be a good show. Snap-on Dan's in the house. What up, Dan?
What's happening?
Andy Gregg from Guts Racing's in the house. What up, Andy?
What's going on, boys?
You guys have never been in together, huh?
No.
This would be cool. I'm excited, guys. I got to the point, I think, where I almost got numb to the idea that we were even going back, and I was like, whatever. Like, if we go, cool. If not, what? Like, it's like, I guess I just kind of faded off right after the season and got into this mode of, like, if it happens, sick. If not, sick. Like, whatever. I've moved on.
Were you 50-50 of whether it was going to happen or not, or where were you?
Well, Mike Mewey was on the show last week, and Mewey is usually the first person I go to when I have questions. And I usually get nowhere, ever, because he always says the same thing. It's 50-50. And for like a month, he kept telling me it was 50-50. Anything new? I heard it's looking better. And he'd go 50-50. So I was 50-50 because I was told 50-50 the whole time. But I kind of had a hunch, I'd say in the last few weeks. Because all of a sudden, the guys are starting to ride Supercross, and you're starting to hear little rumblings, and you're starting to hear details. I guess when you get to detail part, that's because things are kind of leaning that way. You know what I mean? So I'd say it kind of sped up in the last, say, 10 days. But yeah, I just got to the point where I'm like, if we go, sweet. And if not, I mean, it is what it is. But man, when we got that official call, it felt good. Andy, we're going racing, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I think this is going to be very interesting. I think there's going to be lots of ups and downs, lots of highs and lows.
I mean, you're packing 7 races into a really tight schedule. And Joe just had, is this the same video? Is this that highlight video?
Yeah.
Joe's got a highlight video from 2020, just all the crazy things that have happened so far. And if you think about it, all these things happened. Ferrandis and Craig, Joe, you even said, that was this year, huh? Like, it seems like it was so long ago. You got Webb on the Dragon's back going over the bars. You got all these moments. They kind of spread out over a couple, whatever. We're going to have 7 rounds crammed in quick. There's going to be a lot of moments, I think. Like good ones, bad ones, weird ones, crazy ones. And the reason why is because the intensity's up. This is all happening within I got to even look. What's the first to the last one? Is it 21? It's a Sunday and a Sunday. Yeah, 21 days, 7 races. It's going to be wild. It's going to be wild, and we're going to get into all the class, 450, 250. There's a lot of things have changed since we raced. I mean, could you guys believe that the last time we had a race, Garrett Marchbanks won?
It seems like it was forever ago.
I know,
too.
and it's sad for him that it completely just shut off after that point. He didn't even get to kind of work off of it or build off it or even enjoy it the next weekend. The media usually comes at you when you get a big win. He got nothing, and now we go back to racing. Marchbanks was our last 250 winner. That's crazy to me.
So do you think that Marchbanks, does he come in with full head of steam, or do you think he's lost that role? That's what I'm curious to see.
I don't...
Who's going to catch the role again? Or who lost it, who's going to gain it? I think that's going to be the coolest thing, because it's almost like we're starting a whole brand new season. I mean, that's kind of what it feels like.
It is.
We have like a lot of guys back that were hurt. It's
round 11, but it's round 1, honestly. It's around 11 on the year. It's round 1 for this championship, for all these championships. It's a sprint in all these classes, and that favors, in my opinion, somebody. We'll get to it. What?
Ricky always said the championship starts at Daytona.
He's right. Yeah, he's right for once on that one. It really does, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be fun. We'll get into that. Andy, just what's your first thoughts based on what you've heard? I will drop this. Racer X just released the roundtable that Feld did with all the media, pretty much explaining how this is going to work. And dude, it's very complicated. It's not the most, I would say, it doesn't sound like the most enjoyable 25 days coming when you're somewhat quarantined. It's like work quarantine. We're there. But from everything you've kind of heard and gathered so far, what stands out to you is just either the most exciting, most odd, just the most unique of this whole thing?
I think as far as what's going to be the most unique is just the fact of how quick the races are going to be, spaced out. They're not going to be, it's not going to be a normal routine. So that's what I'm kind of excited to see, because now you're taking professional riders, right? And we know, especially you and me, being at the track almost every round so far, that some of these guys, not that they're like pampered or whatever, I don't know how to exactly word it, but some of them they're a little more quirky than the rest, you know what I mean?
And their routine is down.
Yeah.
They have their system. I was even thinking that too, with the limited amount of people. Like, how's Anderson going to do without his pack? Like, they're not allowed. It's a limited number of people. Like, I talked to Ginolfi today. He's like, I don't even know if I'm going. I'll have everyone's stuff. I'll give it to him, but I can't be down on the podium. So you're talking about their whole group, their setup is completely shook, and they're all going back to being like, I don't even know. I mean, just alone with their mechanic that they can't even stand by at all times. I mean, this is going to be weird for these guys, right?
Yeah, it's definitely, and that's what's going to be, for me, that's what's most exciting coming up that I'm looking forward to, because then it's going to put, guys that can put those little corks, like who's going to wash their boots, right? I mean, a lot of the fans probably don't know that, but at a normal Supercross, the top tier riders, they don't wash their boots. They got a special little guy. He comes around and he washes each pair of boots for each rider, so who's washing their boots, right? And just things like that. It's going to that's just changing everything you've known for a few years. It's going to be fun.
Joe, remember Chappelle's show when the P. Diddy episodes, and they would carry him, and he would go get me some milk from
a Cambodian immigrant.
Remember how they would carry him around?
Yeah.
That's how a lot of these riders are right now. Like, carry me to the gate.
But it's not.
And I'm being sarcastic, but Andy's right.
It's not a knock to them.
It's just their system. It's
the system.
They're there to win, and they have a group around them
that are top tier professional athletes. That's what happens.
They are, and now they're not.
They're supposed to focus on winning, not washing their boots.
Yeah.
Well, now they have to.
The rider's defense on that: it's not the rider he's not the one going, my boots are dirty.
He's not being...
It's Alpine Star saying, okay, we want our boots to look presentable on TV. That's what it is. And that's the same for me and my seat cover.
We all want somebody to wash our boots, man.
Yeah, so like when I'm at the races, if I see a team where their cover is a little shoddy, I will go mount a cover for them, because I know they don't have time. And that's the thing is we want our product to look good on the bikes while they're racing. You don't want a tattered seat cover or dirty boots.
So in that circumstance, then, the mechanic, who has a lot of things going on, important things, probably doesn't have time to do that. So you'll do a favor for him, just like the Alpine Star guy will do a favor for the rider to keep the boots clean.
The helmet guys washing helmets, the goggle guys bringing by fresh goggles, the gear dude. Like if you make the night show, you get new gear. If you make the main event, you're getting some fresh.
Or the goggle guy who walks around with the bag of 4 to each guy, and he's checking, we have a routine that these guys are used to. As Ginolfi said, he's going to be doing them all, and then he's like, if I'm allowed there, I'll go there. If not, I'll have them built, and he even asked me, he's like, you might have to take them in for me and give them to all the Scott guys. And I'm like, look, Dave, I got my own responsibilities, all right? Like binge watching Netflix for 24 days is what's going to be going on. But it's going to be very, very weird. Joe, what stood out to you just hearing that we're going racing?
Oh, man. Just the same track. Like we were talking right before we started recording. Different obstacles, but same overall layout.
Yeah.
It's going to be... I love this idea, man. It's just going to be a very unique situation. Unique experience for everybody. The riders and the fans.
Since it's so unique, and it's just... we're just living in this crazy, unique world. Why don't we go all in? Why don't we just do a chase format? Reset the points and let them go. This would be the year to do it, right? 7 round runoff.
Yeah,
Roxon and Tomac probably not stoked. Webb would like it.
Oh, Webb would love it.
AC. Oh, we're watching AC right now. Joe, AC's back, healthy, and I've heard from people inside his inner group that have pretty much said he's going to win some of these. He's ready, 100% healthy, bike's better, he's better, and they said he's going to win some of these things. And I'm not going to disagree with that. Yeah, but I thought it was coming anyway. Let alone, this is a good little format I think will be good for him.
Think about the dirt, though, at Salt Lake. I have a feeling this time of year, it's going to be a lot like Vegas. And I don't know, is he really that good on dry slick?
He's pretty good.
We'll always remember that one.
He kind of folds it at Vegas.
He's not winning the title. He's got to win one race. He'll pull it off.
No, I think it'll be fine. I'm just messing.
I think the coolest thing, though, is at least we're going back to racing, and there's nothing else on network TV.
Right.
So
we're getting these Wednesdays too, which is cool.
It's going to bring. I think it's going to bring some new eyes to the sport. What I think is going to be interesting is I was watching NASCAR yesterday, just the end of the race, and Kevin Harvick won. There was nobody in the stands. He does a donut at the finish line, gets out of the car, and he didn't know what to do because there's no energy like from the stadium or the track of the fans.
Yeah, what's he supposed to do? Get out and start like,
yes.
Hey.
He even said, he's like, I'm really not sure what to say or what to do here. And they had the microphone on like one of these poles, the guy.
Oh yeah.
So you're probably gonna get the.
I already know all about those. I will not be. Hey, remember this year how I was right up in the Riders Grill? That's not happening this time. I'm separated from the boys, so now I won't be as close. I won't be able to give them the look like shut up. So now they'll just have to look into the camera, whatever. But no, I know what you're saying. The boom mics, all that stuff. It just is weird. I will be so stoked if any one of these riders wins the race, stops on the triple and turns to the crowd and just raises their fist to the crowd and even like gets the volume up and nobody's in there. If they could get one of these riders on camera hyping up an empty crowd,
I could see AC doing that.
So could I. That's why I thought
fun,
someone goofy and fun that will play along could do it and just like do something super fun, run and jump. Remember how some of the riders will go in and throw their goggles or whatever and they'll climb in? I want to see one of these riders climb up into the stands and then just raise their arms to the empty stands. Be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, that's your job. Challenge AC to something like that.
He's got to win though, because he won't do it for a second or
He's
third.
winning, dude. Come on.
Well, we're gonna get into who's winning, Dan, and that's why I wanted you here because I needed someone to debate me. I got Roczen for this title.
Oh my God!
And I don't like my pick, but I'm stubborn and I'm sticking to my preseason pick. Joe, Did I not?
Yeah,
I did. You said it. This is round one. This is a 7-round series, and he comes out on fire on the beginning of seasons. This is the beginning of a season. And Roczen's the kind of guy who's very nitpicky about his bike. It's going to be hard to have complaints when you're at the same place 7 times in a row. He's a good starter. Roczen's my pick. Again, I wouldn't put my life savings on it, but he's my pick. Tell me why I'm wrong, Dan.
Dude, Tomac is the king at Salt Lake. He always rides good at Salt Lake. Like Andy said, the dirt's the same as Vegas. He kills Vegas. This plays into Eli's hand, I think. We're going to be a little bit of altitude. That plays into his hand. Dude, and I watched that esports thing or whatever, that Supercross online, which was... I'm going to stop there.
What?
Dude, that was lame.
No, it was not. It was cool,
God.
dude. Did you watch it, Andy?
No.
It was stupid.
I thought it was cool. Evan loved it.
But anyhow, they interviewed Tomac and Roczen before they started playing the game. And dude, Tomac, he just had that baby, and he had and this is kind of and not in a gay way, but he had this daddy glow, right?
What does that mean,
daddy
dude?
Glow. He was
Joe,
all smiling.
Joe, what does that mean? Hey, show title, Daddy Glow.
Daddy Glow.
No question, Dan.
That's pretty good.
Oh my
dude,
God.
But you know what it's like? When I had
Andy, did you have the Daddy Glow?
No.
You guys can't relate.
I don't know what this guy's talking about.
Dude, Daddy Glow.
Listen, when you had your first kid, once the kid's born, you're super pumped, you're super happy, you want to go out and better yourself because you got this child. That's how I felt. Maybe I'm weird.
So
I don't
Joe,
know.
Eli's winning.
Joe's looking at me like,
Joe,
what the?
I know.
Hey, Eli's winning the title because he's got the Daddy Glow.
Yeah, he's got the Daddy Glow.
Dude, I'm telling you, he looked happy. He was smiling. He looked ready to go. Dude, this This is Tomac's title. Stamp it.
Oh, man.
He cannot afford to. He can't afford to lose this one.
You're right.
I want to have a little debate with Dan though. When has he dominated Vegas? I'm just curious.
Dude, pretty much every year he
can't win Monster Cup. He can't. What are you talking about? He couldn't even beat Dungey. He was trying to roadblock him the whole time.
Well, that was because he was playing games.
Hold on.
He's not that great in the dry slick. He dominates when the tracks are tacky and have lots of grip.
Dude, he's won Vegas the last 2 or 3 years in a row.
Last
Anderson
time
didn't have to win it.
Last time we were in Salt Lake,
wasn't it not the greatest weather?
it was a day race, right? Did we go there last year? We didn't go to Salt Lake last year. It was 2 years ago. Yeah, Marvin won. That was when Anderson had the front wheel issue, remember?
Yep.
Day race. When was the last time Ken's raced Salt Lake?
It's been a minute.
Jeez.
The only Salt Lake I really remember is the whole Chisholm bike launching thing.
Oh, I remember the one where it was snowing, too. The one Wyndham won.
Is that the same one where Chisholm launched his bike into Reed?
No. Joe, do you want to get involved in this conversation at all? Webb's 29 points down. He's been your pick. You've been stubbornly heels in the ground on that. Can he make up 29?
You got to stick with your preseason picks, man. So I got to ride with him till I DIE.
All right. So,
dude, here's the thing that scares me about Roczen is this whole health thing. He says he's 100% healthy. He says he's ready to go. But going back to the last pod I was on, dude, there was concerns that he didn't want to do these back-to-back races and everything else because he was concerned that he wasn't going to be able to recover. And dude, with now these new guidelines that they've set in place with the whole temperature checks and everything else, dude, that could be a game changer.
It totally could. That's the curveball that could change everything.
Any of them, but him specifically.
The one thing that does concern me about Roczen a little bit is you've just heard in his interviews him talking about. You took a break, and then he was kind of the one that they were hinting around, didn't want to go through this. And remember on Instagram, he posted some Arizona charts. Like he's kind of had a little bit of this vibe, like maybe he hasn't been staying up with it all the way. And I can't imagine that being all the way true, but at least that's what it's kind of looked like. So my biggest concern is maybe he's not as ready as the rest of the guys. But I mean, I don't see how he could fall all the way off the wagon and not be there, you know what I mean? I am a little concerned about that. He has been the least, seems like, into it just by the little things he said, And I could be wrong about that, but that's just the vibe I've gotten. Andy, have you read into that a little bit?
Yeah, I think. I've heard some stuff behind the scenes that the Team Red wasn't too pumped on going racing anytime soon, and I'm not saying it was all Kenny, but I heard from higher ups that the factory Honda team wasn't too pumped about this whole situation.
So maybe collectively just not as on the gas. Like I said, I don't know. It's hard. It's so hard to read into what these guys have done. I'm going to try to get to the bottom of that, obviously, so I can do my job when I get there and find out what they've actually been doing, how they've whatever. But yeah, that is a concern, Dan. I know exactly what you're saying, but I'm just thinking of these. I'm thinking of a 7-round sprint where starts matter and the track's going to be the same, and you don't really. I feel like Roczen's going to be just out front and efficient, and Eli puts himself in bad positions for how many years? And in this kind of a schedule, one of those can really bite you, especially with AC back and Osborne back, especially with all these guys back. The field's deep again.
Well, here's the thing also is we know AC is a front runner, right? So at what point does he come in to maybe help Tomac out a little bit? Dungey had all the help from Marvin all those years.
And screw his buddy over? He's going to have to, if that happens, he's going to have to pick one. If he was in the middle of something, he would have to pick one or the other.
Dude, his future's with Kawasaki. I truly believe he's the next guy. Kenny and him are buddies, but dude, Cowie pays, signs a paycheck.
I don't think it's going to be near as blatant as the Savatgy thing.
No, I agree with
nothing
you.
like that. I don't think AC would do that, and I would imagine that AC is going into this with his own agenda. And that's what I hope. I hope that he is like, you guys solve your own championship. I'm here to get my wins. He probably thinks are coming, that I think are coming. So I know what you're saying, though. He's going to be in between a rock and a hard place if he gets a whole shot in a main event and he's battling with Kenny, and then Eli's right there, too. Like, how hard do you fight each guy? Hopefully he just fights them both 100% and treats these rounds like he's in it. In fact, I'd be curious to see who's going to end up scoring the most points in these 7 rounds. You know what I mean? Like, someone's going to win the title, but maybe Webb does the best in these 7, and that 29-point lead gets down to 14, and yeah, he loses the title, but maybe he's the best in this runoff format. So maybe AC is. Maybe that's AC's goal. That'd be rad if it was. What if we come out of this and Tomac wins the title, but AC had the most points at the last 7? That makes 2021 seem a lot cooler to me.
Yeah, I think Webb is going to be one that you really got to watch. And then Barsha, because Barsha's got a lot on the line. He gets a guaranteed deal next year if he finishes 3rd in points. He's only got 2 points, right, on Webb?
Yeah, he's 2 back.
And so those 2 guys
have their own.
Neither of them give 2 craps about Tomac or Roczen and their championship.
No.
So I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be a battle of Tomac and Roczen in these 7 rounds. The 7 rounds is going to be AC, Webb, and Barsha, what they can do in 7 rounds, and just the other 2 guys better hope that they don't make a mistake
while they're dealing with those guys' battles too.
Because those guys have more on the line than I feel the Roczen and Tomac. Because Roczen and Tomac, they're going to be your odds-on favorites for the outdoors anyways, and it's going to be.
So out of Barsha and Cooper, Andy, who do you think? I mean, who gets 3rd? Barsha or Cooper?
Cooper.
I agree.
I wouldn't be surprised if Cooper doesn't get 2nd or win. I'm with Joe. I mean, with 7 rounds, you can make up a lot of points.
I'm just wondering how these guys are going to handle the environment too. Like, none of these guys have been in this situation where you're literally stuck in a place and you just have racing every couple days. The practicing is going to be weird for them. The training is going to be weird. You don't have the comfort of home to recoup. It's going to be a weird environment, and I'm trying to figure out which one of these guys is going to be the best in the weird. Who can just push out all the distractions for 21 days and focus on just this? And that's going to be hard when you're bored. You're looking for something to do. Maybe they're going to want to go on a hike. It's just, this is the weirdest environment for these guys. It's not like Monster Cup where it's a one-off or the Nations. It's not like a regular season where you have months to pace yourself. It's a 3-week sprint off. Honestly, from the fans' perspective, this has got to be awesome.
So let me throw this out there. Tomac trains it pretty much at home by himself. I know J-Mart kind of trains with him and stuff, but Tomac's kind of the lone soldier, right? Mm-hmm. Doesn't have a lot of man friend and this group or whatever. He's kind of by himself. Does something like this that's so focused on racing and the hype and everything else, the fans, everything's out there, does that play into his hand?
No. Okay, what plays into his hand is a question that I have that I need to find out right away is his family all going to be there too? Because what I've heard, it's going to be very limited. So I know they'll be in the town, but does Eli's dad get to go to the races? Like, how much staff does everyone get to bring? He's not a Kawasaki employee, is he?
Not that I'm aware of.
He's not his he's his trainer and coach, but from what I understand, I don't think Alden's even going. So I don't know if he's going to have his comfortable setting away from the track with him. His dad, his family. His dad's with him everywhere. Okay, same for Ken. Courtney is with Ken at all times. Is she allowed to be there? And how available does she get to be? I need to look deeper into the rules to find out which one of these guys is going to have their comfort zone taken away the most. And like I said, for Anderson would be the one. He's got his boys, he's got his buddies. They always are together. There's no way they're getting let in. Unless one of them is media. That to me, that's the big question: is which one of these guys is going to be the least comfortable for 3 weeks and have a hard time racing because they're setting, like Andy said, away from the track is disrupted. That's the question, Cooper. and that's why I picked Cooper for 3rd for sure. And one mess up by either one of these two, Roczen and Eli, who are watching on our screen, and if Cooper goes on a little run here and just goes say 2-1, 2-2, 1-1, whatever, and those guys have a bad one, he could. And I feel like he is probably the most likely to be the most locked in. He's pretty disciplined, as a person.
When he seems to ride with a chip on his shoulder, and those guys don't. Like, even when he was winning last year, he still rides with like a chip on his shoulder. And I do know that recently, Ken was pretty boisterous about not maybe doing this kind of stuff because of the coming back so soon and whatever. And first one to respond, not directly at Ken Roczen, but Cooper Webb says, we're all professionals. We can pick up a bike and race tomorrow. Like, he was just like, punking him.
Well,
like,
he was the most aggressive about his belief that we need to go racing and everyone needs to put up with it. And I actually talked to him about it a little bit, and he said, he's like, honestly, from a financial standpoint, I'm not really all the way affected by this. Like, I'm okay. But he literally said to me, hundreds of people, including you, are out of a job because of this. We need to get back to racing. Like, he texted that to me. So he's been very boisterous and public about let's go. And as far as I know, Ken, I don't know. And I heard rumblings that Cowie and Eli were at one point not very cool with all this too. So if you got the two championship contenders kind of, okay, we'll do this reluctantly, and then you have the guy in third who is chomping at the bit, maybe that changes things. But at the same time, it's not fair to speak on behalf of Ken and Eli and their beliefs. It's just things that we've kind of heard through the rumbling or through the chatter. But bottom line, again, this is going to be tough on everybody. It's not ideal for the riders, for staff, for me, for Feld, for everybody. But you know who it's ideal for is the fans. Not the ones in the stadium, but the ones watching on TV. You're going to get to see 7 Supercrosses in 3 weeks. There's a championship on the line. There's 2 250 titles that are both brewing really well. And we're going to a track where Shane McElrath is phenomenal, has been. Chase Sexton's never raced in Salt Lake. So there's a good title there. I mean, Ferrandis and Faulkner that series was on fire either way. It's just I think this is awesome for the fans. I can't wait. I can't wait to just knock these out and see what it looks like. It's going to be cool. I'm excited. Joe, let's take a break. This pizza, I can't. It's right in front of me. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk 250.
Main event moto.
There's a reason I run DRS suspension and Race Tech hard parts with Mika Metals chains, bars, and sprockets on Evans 65. First off, DRS suspension settings work everywhere. I haven't changed a clicker since I put them on. Maybe it's the internals from Race Tech that give it that extra something.
American-made products with a 100% guarantee. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, the DRS Race Tech combo works for me. And what can I say about Mika?
First off, they've been with us since the beginning.
The quality of their bars is top of the line, and Mika is the only chain and sprocket combo I run. Motoheads, get with the program. It's DRS suspension, Race Tech, Mika Metals.
Say it again.
It's DRS suspension, Race Tech, Mika Metals. That good, Joe?
Yeah.
I love when NorCal companies take the world by storm. Guts Racing seat covers and no-toil filters are made right here at home, but their products travel the country and world on some of the baddest dudes' bikes in pro racing.
Who runs Guts?
Too many factory teams to list, Joe.
Who runs No Toil?
Well, it's the only filter Chad Reed will run. Guts and No Toil make only the best. So visit gutsracing.com and notoil.com and step up your game, Motoheads.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
And before we get to the 250 class, I had a quick question for Snap-on Dan and Andy Gregg, and you both are pretty confirmed. I should know this, but Marvin's not back, right? I thought I saw somewhere online that Marvin's back, and I'm like, I just talked to him when we did the video game thing, and I didn't think he was back on a bike. So no go from what you guys know?
No.
I didn't think so.
I'm not. I wouldn't be sold that he's not on a bike,
but definitely not racing.
Yeah, not racing Supercross.
That'd be bummer. It's a bummer. I'd love to have him back too, but and then Osborne, he's back, right?
He's riding, that's for sure.
Chris Blose is back, dude. Colton Nichols. How about this? 250 East, which we'll get into that first. Hunter Lawrence is making his debut. At the first one, he's riding the East Coast Division. Colt Nichols making his season debut on the East Coast Division. How about RJ Hampshire and Jordan Smith, though? Jordan tore his ACL at Daytona, right? And then he had surgery. I'm like, man, I'm trying to catch up in my own memories here. Did he have surgery? I think he did.
I think so.
Yeah. RJ did for sure, which I think that was planned because I think they were assuming September was the go. He's, third in points? And I've heard that he's going to try to race, and there's just no possible way. There's no way you can have ACL surgery and be back in 6 weeks. So if he's there, I don't understand
what sense that makes. I mean,
to come back?
Yeah. He's got another year on his contract.
I,
Why are you risking damaging your knee even further?
because Andy Gregg called and said we need gut seat covers out there. That's why.
Better believe it. Jeez.
Joe, RJ wants to just mail it in for the year. Andy said, hell no.
I heard
No guts, no glory,
Yeah.
sissy. Get out there.
Yeah.
I heard he thinks that Sexton's going to fold, and he thinks that he can outrun McElrath.
I mean, that's a big one. I mean, maybe at fullest strength you would have a shot, but I don't know. Can we just get into videos then?
Let's do it.
I love Chase. I love Shane. I think they're both great, incredible riders. I'm going nod Shane on this one. 2 years ago there, he was phenomenal. He's good on the hard pack. When he decided to ride East, I knew that was going to be a harder one for him. He's better on the West. This is straight up West. This is gravelly, pebbly, hard pack. Shane's going to be ridiculous. You're in elevation where the star bikes are and I think it's going to be close, but I'm going Shane for the title. Andy?
Yeah, since RJ's a little banged up, I would if he wasn't banged up, I feel like the speed he showed early in the East Coast, I would definitely be on the Hampshire bandwagon, but knowing that he's a little banged up and things like that. But I don't know. I think Chase is a new Chase this year, and I think
for sure.
I think he's got it in him to ride this one out. Even though I am a McElrath fan, I like him on and off the racetrack. So I do pull for him. I always have, but unfortunately, I think Chase has got it.
I'm so torn between the two. Again, on the East Coast tracks, knowing that there's going to be some soft, ruddy ones, I would lean Sexton. He won that title there last year. He did those tracks, a lot of them last year, Indy and some of those tracks. I got this feeling on the West Coast style track and environment that Shane's going to be at his very best, like where he is at his best. I guess it just depends on if Chase is that new Chase and can enforce and show his will. I think that Shane is going to be on fire on these, Dan.
I think Chase is the maturity that he has gained in just the 1 year is leaps and bounds of anybody else, and I think he holds it together and closes this thing out. I think he wants to back it up. I think last year the title was a little downplayed because Faulkner got hurt.
Oh, he admits that. He says he don't even like the way it happened.
And I think this is a legitimate chance for him to, win I don't want to call it a legit title, but a legit title.
But, by winning races along the way and not,
right.
We know how last year's happened.
It's kind of gifted.
Joe, what do you think? New Chase Sexton this year definitely was taking control of things before this break. Do my points about Shane and West Coast sway you at all, or are you going to team up against me with these boys?
No, I'm with them.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I just don't think it's going to be too confusing. It's too distracting. There's too many variables.
Okay. And he's got a little bit of a lead. What's he got right now, actually? I got to add this up. He has 10-point lead with 5 to go, though. 4 on their own and then a showdown. There's a lot of East Coast racing still to go.
The X factor is everybody's condition. What is the condition of all of these riders? What condition are they in?
I think those two are good. Like you said, RJ is definitely not the same. You're going to have Hunter Lawrence. You're going to have Colton Nichols. You'll have some spice thrown in. But those two, I think, are both 100%, like ready to go like it's round one. And think about, I'm trying to convince you guys here. Look how good Shane always is at round one. Look at Tampa. It was hard pack round one. Dude, he wasted everybody.
I don't know, man. I really like Shane too. But I just don't see him as a championship guy. I hate to say that.
It just doesn't have enough to close it.
I don't think he does.
Sometimes he's got the fire, but it's more miss than hit. I'm sorry.
Andy, you same?
Yeah, I've always said that I think he just needs to clean it up a little bit. Like, throughout the night, there's like little spots where you're like, oh man, what was that? Why that decision? Or because, like I said, I'm a fan, so I watch him and I really pay attention. And yeah, there's just been times over the years where I'm like, man, if he would just clean up a few little things here and there, he would have, instead of running 5th tonight, he probably would have been 2nd or maybe even the top step. So
Just like Daytona.
yeah,
And what was the other one? He had a goofy night at, was it maybe Atlanta? I think he was a little off that night too. I know what you're saying. All right, well, 3-1. You guys got me on that. Let's go Hunter Lawrence, rookie debut. Can you believe that? Like, we're finally going to get to see that.
I think it's going to be mediocre. I think he's going to be quick. I don't see him winning a race.
Okay, yeah, where does mediocre lie in the East then? Because when we went off, it was like the 4 top guys, like J-Mart, Shane,
I put Hunter
Chase. You got Marchbanks, who kind of elevated there at Daytona, obviously, and then you had a lot of rookies. Remember, it was Shimoda and Swole and Brown were all in that 6, 7, 8 kind of run. Is Lawrence with them? Is he one of them, or is he better than them and alone in that middle section? Maybe
I'm gonna say 6 to 8.
6 to 8.
Yeah, that's.
Oh my God, Lucas Myrtle is gonna flip when he hears this.
yeah. So where are they training at? The Lawrence brothers.
Somewhere in Florida.
Okay.
I think maybe they're back out west. I don't know. I haven't talked to Myrtle in a couple days actually.
Yeah, for some reason I kind of had a sneaky feeling they've been out here on the west.
Maybe
And
they were. I don't know, but I know they've been riding Supercross.
all the test tracks that are here in California are going to be very similar as far as hard pack, little pebbly, stuff like that. I honestly put him on the box.
Really?
Yep, because I feel like he's better than those other riders that are the fifth on back guys. And
The other rookie group.
Yep. And riding with his brother. I mean, his brother's got a ton of speed. And if they are riding with, I don't know, maybe the Moto Concept team or something like that,
Yeah, I
you
don't know.
have
Yeah, I
some
don't
450
know.
guys. I just feel like, and he really doesn't have nothing to lose, right? So why not go out there?
But that's what he doesn't have anything to lose. I just don't think he comes out swinging. I think he gets some experience in Supercross, these 7 rounds, and I think he comes out swinging in outdoors. That's what I see happening.
What's the scoop on the outdoors? Have you heard anything, Andy?
I honestly haven't really put too much effort into it.
I mean,
really-
Joe, you were just saying even like things are starting to open up pretty quick, and I mean we're talking a month from now. I mean, as long as nothing dramatic happens, are we steering this thing towards opening up and having 15,000 people at a place?
So this is what I heard this weekend from a pretty reliable source that the outdoors could be down to 6 rounds.
I heard that too.
At 3 different tracks, so multiple
goodness.
races at one location. Because MX Sports owns Indiana, High Point, maybe. There's 2 of them that MX Sports owns, so they can have.
I don't know.
them
Yeah, I don't know
there.
if they own, but I know that they are very tied in with Ironman and Mount Morris.
Yeah, so it could potentially be a 6-round series. I did hear that July 4th for Redbud opening. That's not going to happen.
Makes sense. Michigan is
Yeah,
not a pleasant
I
place
think
to be
outdoors
right
is
now.
going to be a pretty bleak championship series.
To be honest with you, if they can pull it off with a limited amount, it's probably better for the riders and the teams because, I mean, this is going to be pretty chaotic. And then if they had to go in and do 11 and run a little late, that would be pretty gnarly.
The riders don't want to do outdoors.
I've heard that
And-
too.
and
but
the
I don't know if
sponsors-
that's fair too because I don't think that's everybody. You got guys like Hunter Lawrence who probably really, really, really want to do the outdoors.
Yeah.
Or even like a
But-
guy like Webb and AC who aren't in this title chase but would love to start another one over.
But okay, so if you have a 6-round outdoor series, do you get an asterisk next to that one? I mean, dude, that's half the races as normal.
I've heard people talking about this getting an asterisk because of this runoff and how they're doing this. I think if this one gets an asterisk, at least for Supercross, it's like in a positive. If you go back in history and remember that this is the title you won, if Roxon or whichever one of these two more than likely pulls this off, you're the one that got dealt a weird hand, got thrown into a situation you've never done before, and you won it. To me, like I feel like this is a huge opportunity for whichever one of these guys wins it to be like, I won the most unnormal, weirdest, difficult, confusing series that ever got thrown at us, and I won it. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like the asterisk would be in a positive if you pull off this championship.
I agree with you. I do agree with you. But as far as, these guys are getting in the full 17 rounds, there's going to be some track changes. This is a legit series to me. If they came down and said, okay, we're only going to be able to get 12 rounds in, That's 5 rounds less. That's a pretty large portion of the series. I would say yes, that for sure gets an asterisk in a negative way. But I do agree with you that this has more variables and challenges than ever.
Yeah, and they're all dealing with it equally.
Here's the big question that I want to know: is these guidelines forever?
Oh,
that's what sucks for a lot of people. Sponsors, fans, riders.
What guidelines? You're talking like,
dude, what
masks and social distancing and limited participants and all that kind of stuff?
Yep. I don't know if
See, it's crazy how Joe. We've talked about this. The goalpost move. I remember when this is all coming out. I'm like, God, I hope we just miss Indy. That's my first thought was, I hope we just miss Indy. Then it was like, oh my gosh, like we're postponed. Hopefully this picks up in May. Then it was, oh my God, September. It's like the goalposts keep moving, and to even think of the idea that would be a reality, that this is like a long-term thing. That I don't know.
Here's the crazy thing.
Horrible.
Is if this is a long-term,
that would be.
If this is a long-term thing, do we have this sport? There's not a lot. I mean, there's not money like NASCAR money in this sport, right? And our fan base and everything else. Does this kill our sport for fans not being able to show up at a race and actually attend a race? Because there's a lot of activation and things like that go on at these races,
right?
With one-on-one fan interaction. Does that just kill us?
Oh, I don't think it would survive without it. I mean, this sport is everything generates off of having 50,000 people on average in these stadiums. So
that's a scary thought, though, right?
Looking at that as a possibility. But Joe, did you just say California's opening up some sports stuff too?
Yeah, for first week of June, they announced today that they're going to be opening up professional sports.
And probably the same kind of thing. Like a lot of
each league will have its own set of rules and requirements, I think.
See, and Supercrosses are different than NASCARs were. I mean, there were similarities in some things, but there's different things that we're doing that they're not doing too. So I think every sport, like you said, will have its own guidelines and what it'll execute. I'm assuming a lot comes into play with that based on the state you're in, based on insurance policies. Insurance is different in different states too. So I can only imagine that everyone's going to be a little bit different. Getting sidetracked. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about racing. Colt Nichols. How's he going to do? Don't forget, he won Anaheim last year, had the red plate for like 5 weeks, and now he's coming into this championship with, you said, nothing to lose, just swinging for wins. Andy, I'll start with you. How's Colt Nichols do?
Well, being a racer myself, racing bikes growing up and then racing cars now, I hate to say it, but all of us have superstitions. Like, I put my gloves on a certain way. Like, it's always that, like, and if something's going wrong, I start tearing my trailer apart trying to find that thing in there that I feel is a superstition. And I'm telling you what, the 13, look at the history of that number in the sport. Brian Swink, it was so bad, he changed it to 103. He asked for them to change his number from 13 to 103 because his season was terrible. It was the end of his career. And I hate to say it, but dude, you got to ditch the 13. He ain't going to do nothing until he gets rid of the 13.
Joe smiling. Joe?
Yeah, numerology ain't no joke.
Joe's scared. You got him all spooked now. Dan, the number 13? I'll put it this way. I'm not a hardline anti-13 guy, but I would never pick it. So
I don't have weird superstitions and numbers like that, so I don't know. I actually think Colt Nichols is going to come out swinging. I see Colt Nichols getting a couple podiums.
Is he going to win?
I think it's a potential for sure.
I mean, he's been riding for a while too,
dude.
So he's chomping.
I didn't tell you I rode a Yamaha 250. Dude, that thing
is stock one?
No, it was a big bore.
Okay,
but still, dude, it was so really
it wasn't
good.
A 250.
It was really good.
What CC was it?
269.
Was it good?
It was really good.
I told you
I was surprised, and I'm a Yamaha hater. Everybody knows that.
I told Dan, he rides a 450, and he complains about how he can't get in shape. I said, dude, stop riding a 450. Get a 250. They're lighter or whatever. I said, put a big bore in one.
So check this out.
Are you going to do it?
So check this out. I rode a Cowie, a Pro Circuit Cowie 250 last week. Half a lap, I didn't like it. I pulled off the track. But that Yamaha 250, dude, I liked.
Joe, is he sick? Do you hear him?
Man.
Get the temperature check.
Get the temp check out. That's another thing, too. You know that they're doing temp checks, 100.3 and below, you're good to go. If you're 100.4, no racing that day. or working or anything. You're not allowed on site. Let's do a little foresight here. Does anyone miss the cut on the temp check in these last 7?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, for sure someone.
Yeah.
Does anyone in a position of meaning? We would say Barsha and Weber, and they are in a position of meaning, top 3 in the points. The championship guys. How about a 250 guy who maybe is getting a little too close to that number of pointing out? All of a sudden, temp check?
I could see that. I mean, I really don't think any of the 450 guys, especially title contenders, they're going to be so careful on what they do and where they go and who they come in contact with. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, they pull Rox and Tomac off the track, they go straight to the motorhome, and that's it. It's, and they're kind of quarantined themselves.
Right.
Because, that's no joke. I mean, a little tiny cold, or whatever you could get a temperature from. So,
Andy, does anyone important, and when I say important, don't take that the wrong way, anybody that's in a position of importance in this championship discussion, do they miss a race from a temp check?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Dan, no?
no, I don't think so.
But somebody will.
Yes.
Outside of the top 10 in points, I think maybe 1 or 2 guys. Maybe some mechanics for sure and some
Joe,
other team personnel.
We're talking 900 people are on the list. That means 900 people, no fever. But it's just on the day. I think it's just the temp check on the day. So if it's the day before, I mean, you got to imagine these guys are going to be walking around with a thermometer, right? And just checking themselves a lot.
Is Ralph back? Is it Ralph, Ricky, and you?
Ralph, Ricky, me, Will.
I wasn't sure if it was going to be Lee.
So my wife's a nurse at this hospital right here in our backyard, and she knows how to break a fever. So if you have a fever, within 3 hours she can break it, and you'll read just fine. So
if you are in the title chase and you want to know how to do that, you can DM me. I will pass on the information for a fee, and right?
Yes, that's what these guys. That's when you're sick. Especially when you have kids. Gosh,
Kenny, Eli,
I can see.
call me.
She breaks their fever all the time. Because there's a way to. There's a right way to do it. So it's not anything shady. That's handling the sickness.
I just don't want to get it out because I'm trying to make some money off.
The thing is,
I'll get some free boots like I did from Marvin back in the day.
I don't know about the protocol when it comes to WADA. Like some of the stuff, some of the medication that you would take to break your fever. You could piss dirty if you got on the podium. So, and then you're out for 18 months like Christian Craig or whoever, right? So,
could you imagine if the riders, they get there, the first thing they do is they look at the list of everyone who's allowed, and they're like, "There's no WADA guys on this list. Free for all for 3 weeks."
So I'm not. It's not something that obviously they're going to be watching it, but there is ways, to break a fever. If you are sick and they give you the right antibiotics and things like that. Because I've been sick, and then you wake up and you're like, "Oh man, I feel great today," and then by 6 o'clock, that fever's back.
Right?
Are they checking fevers at 6 o'clock when it's later? You know what I mean?
I don't know,
dude. This is no joke. Like those essential oils, the peppermint oil. When you have a fever and you put it on the back of your neck and down your spine, it will literally break a fever in like 10 minutes.
Well, never mind.
Tech tip,
guys.
Thanks, Dan.
Yep.
That's why I just said somebody out of the top 10, because I just don't feel like they would have that kind of resources. The guys in the top 10, they have people, but at the same time, like, here's the thing, and I'm not even going to get political on it, but the reason why a lot of these people are so hesitant to go back to normal, let's say Supercross said, F you guys, we're all going to St. Louis, the state of Missouri is a little more relaxed on fans, we're going to have fans. If you had one fan show up, even only 3,000 people show up, and you have one fan get sick and die, you're going to be the one with the dirty hands,
right?
And so that's why I feel like some of our states and some of our counties across this country,
scared.
They're afraid to be the one that opens up and lets things get back to normal. Because because of fact it's an election year. Like I said, I'm not getting political, but if it was not an election year, I think you'd have a little more bravery in some of the people calling the shots. But some people, their jobs are on the line right now, and if their county or district comes up with, 100 people all of a sudden test positive because they let a race happen in their county, dude, they're on the chopping block.
And think about what that does for the sport, too. And that's the thing, and that's why, again, when I read the handbook on all the things, it's very excessive what we're having to do here. But the reason why I went, hell yeah, let's do it, is because, dude, same reasons. We're having to do everything possible to show that we took the initiative to do things right for protective measures, and that's it. It sucks. Dan saying that this is just the new norm, that's got me nauseous. But for to pull this off right now and pull it off, dude, I'll wear the mask. I'll do the things that I might not be doing here at home right now at all, but I'll do it there and I think everyone's willing to do this all because we want to go racing. At the same time, we want to not only protect all the participants and the people, but also protect the brand too, and make sure that
that's kind of my point.
Yeah, you don't want to open up and then all of a sudden it traces back and it was a Supercross race where all this crazy stuff happened. Or
imagine they're like, oh gosh, fractured Kawasaki rider, used some medication to break his fever, goes and races, then 3 other guys contracted and somebody died. Kawasaki, the brand, would be like,
God, why do we got to say Kawasaki, Andy? Jesus.
He's looking right at you when he said it too. No, I get it, and it all makes sense, and it's all.
Everybody's just trying to protect their assets, right?
Well, and that's why again, I'll say this for 1 second, but everyone said that we were gonna have this V-shaped recovery. No, we're not. Dude, this thing shut off at 100 mile an hour, and it's gonna come back on so damn slow, like so slow. I mean, not only because things aren't opening up right away, but there's a lot of people out there that do not want to go out at all, and that's going to take a while for people to get over that. But anyways, moving back to racing, I said Shane wins the title. You got Chase. Any other surprises? Marchbanks, what do you guys think? How's he back up Daytona now that he's had 3 months to think about it?
I think Marchbanks comes out and wins another one.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
What brand's he on?
Hey. Yeah, that's right.
Joe. Does Marchbanks come out and win another one?
I could see it.
Really?
He's from Utah. He's familiar with the soil. He might be able to go home.
It's true.
So
I think he left there I think he told me when he was pretty young they left Utah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Pierce Brown too. He's a Utah guy.
But dude, he looked killer.
He was badass at Daytona. Andy, Marchbanks, does he get one? Another one?
As far as another win, oh man, I don't know. Like, I really think that on the East Coast, it's just gonna be Shane and Chase. I think they're gonna be the going back and forth 1 and 2.
A little bit of J Mart, a little bit of Nichols.
Yeah, and like I said, I think Lawrence is gonna be in there somewhere on the podium. At least a couple rounds. But I don't know about Marchbanks. I feel like. I just haven't seen enough from him, I guess, over the years to where I feel like he rode really good that mutter at San Diego, and then
Daytona. Those are the two that stand. I don't remember anything
He
else.
hasn't really backed it up week to week yet, and that's kind of how some other riders have been. It takes them a little while. I feel like being a competitor myself, I could go to some new track, rip off a good finish, and then the next week I could run 20th. Like, it's like. When you start putting 3 or 4 together in a row, that means you're serious. And I mean like top 5s, like, battling 2nd, 3rd, and then, a 5th, and then back to a 2nd again or something.
I mean, or even for Marchbanks, just get back on the podium. He had no podiums before Daytona this year.
Yeah.
So for me, that'd be a huge win. I think if he came out and got another podium or 2, I think that'd be huge for him. Dan wants a win, though, because he's on a Kawasaki.
I think he could do it.
Anything else in the 250 East? I think that's all. Yeah.
Does J Mart? Does he get a win? I mean, where are we at on J Mart?
I'm kind of. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
The big unknown is who's been training and who hasn't. Like legitimately taking every chance they had since the last round, because I feel like J Mart was off the whole East Coast. Right now.
Well, remember, that was his just return to racing, too. He was just warming up, kind of.
If he was already off, say, a tick, well, it might be more
Depends on what he's been doing. If he's been with Eli, if Eli's been throwing it down, then maybe J-Mart comes out and we're like, oh, whoops, we totally
that's kind
underestimated. You never know.
The unknown.
The first one back is going to answer some things again. And regardless of what you guys think, Shane's going to win the first one for sure. Can you at least agree with me on that? He's going to win the first one back. Salt Lake, it's round 1. It's Shane, dude. You know what he does. Come on.
Sorry, man.
No?
I can't.
Colt wins the first one.
Colt wins the first one? Joe?
I can see Shane doing it.
Shane?
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Hey, I appreciate you.
Because that's what he does. He'll just have those random
will smack down.
Yeah.
This will be Tampa 2.0. All right, second commercial, and we'll come back and talk about the West Coast, and we'll start out on a very somber note.
Main event moto.
Look good? Check. Protection? Check.
Fly Racing has had the gear game on lock for years, but the Formula helmet has taken Fly to another level. They didn't just make a high-quality helmet, they redefined the standard for the most important piece of safety equipment on a rider's body.
Use your head and protect your head. Run the Fly Formula helmet.
Then cover the rest of your body in Fly's Evolution and Kinetic gear lines.
Easy decision.
If you're a true Motohead, then motosport.com is your only choice when it comes to OEM or aftermarket parts for your bike. And when it comes to servicing your bike or giving it the punch you need to perform, it's EMT Racing. With motosport.com, you can get everything you need for your bike with great pricing and ridiculous speed on shipping. And with EMT, it's simple. Take your bike to the experts.
2020 is the year EMT takes over the performance world. If you don't know, now you know.
Your Bat Bros choose motosport.com and EMT Racing, and you should too. Motoheads, do you want to stand out on and off the track? Make sure to check out Viral Moto for your jersey lettering and apparel needs. That's viralmoto.com.
Because having a blank jersey is about as bad as Vincent's golf game.
And when it's time to get a screen printing project done for your business or personal use, you have one choice. It's screenprintingdone.com.
Neil is the man. You know those Main Event Moto sweatshirts you're wearing? Yeah, Neil at Screen Printing Done did those.
You know that sick new Viral Moto shirt you're wearing? Yeah, Neil did those too.
We like to look good. That's why we choose Viral Moto and ScreenPrintingDone.com.
All American Chevrolet in Killeen, Texas is a proud supporter of Main Event Moto and invites all the Moto heads to experience the difference for all of your Chevy sales and service needs. Mention Main Event Moto and get 50% off your next oil change and a front end alignment at no charge. Remember, whether you're hauling your bikes to the weekend track, trail, or race, or commuting to the job that pays for your moto habit, we have the truck to get you there in style. Visit us online anytime at ChevyKilleen.com. That's all American Chevrolet of Killeen. Chevy, find new roads.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
And we are back, and do not forget, Racer X has a special going on right now. It's $2.99 for 3 episodes. I mean, Joe, it's not that much. You get your subscription?
Editions, not episodes.
Subscription.
Sure, yeah, subscription
Will that
to
work
their
too?
3 editions. Oh, yeah.
3 episodes for
Hell yeah, buddy, we got to win this thing.
All right.
You want to remind them about the contest.
Yes, and I got to look at the... Oh, dude, I forget what the email is, though.
Isn't it /Blair?
Yeah, but I don't know what the first part is.
Oh.
Just sign up, dude.
I think it's racerxonline.com/Blair.
I think that's what it is. And get the 3 episodes. All right? All right. 250 West, can we start off on a bad note, guys? Jacob Hayes has got hurt pretty bad. You guys all know how close I am with him. I mean, he's lived at my house this year for a couple months. He actually moved down south to Southern California right after San Diego. So moved down with Brandon Hartraff. They got a house. Everything's been going well. He's actually been training very hard off the bike. And then the last couple of weeks have been picking up more and more and more. And, I mean, he's been calling me from the track just saying he's ready. The bike's ready. He's ready. It's go time. He's finally ready to break out. You got to remember, he's 6th in points. He got a top 5, and he had no prep for Supercross this year. And he said it was go time. He was ready. He was going to change his course. And unfortunately, I get a text message last Thursday, and bad crash. And I mean, it's okay that I revealed the information. He put it out. So, compound fracture on his femur, which is disgusting, especially when the photos come flying in on your phone and you don't know they're coming. It's gross. Shattered both kneecaps and broke his wrist. Had a surgery to get the femur stabilized. He's got one more surgery to go. He did get released today to go home for a couple days, and he's coming back for the other surgery. And yeah, I can't speak on his behalf, but detrimental to not only his season, but I mean his life. In all honesty, he was right on the brink of getting what I think he deserved all along. I'm not going to be shy. I'll say it, and I don't care if you think it's because we're buddies, but he should be on a factory team. He always should have been on a factory team. And I think he would be on the podium if he was on one, and he was working his way and grinding his way there. And at least for this point in time, it's over. So
It's a bummer.
it's really a bummer, dude. It's really, I mean, he's like a family member to me, and that was like brutally hard to get that call and then call around to people that were at the track trying to find out. I know Michael Lindsay was there, and I know Dan, you talked to him, and he was there for all this, and just brutal, just shitty, man.
I guess he didn't even know his wrist was broken.
He didn't know his right kneecap was broken either. He said his left one was. He's learning more every day. Oh, and then he had a blood clot while he was at the hospital, and he was on blood thinners, and he's still on them, and he's going to be on that for a few weeks now. So brutal. So keep him in your prayers. And anyways, it just sucks. All right, let's talk positive. 250 West. When we left off, Ferrandis and Faulkner were psychopathic speeds. Remember San Diego? Pretty sure they were the fastest qualifiers that day, maybe 1 and 2, or maybe they were 1 and 3 against the 450 guys, and they had found a new level, and both those guys have recently told me, I did an interview with them on Zoom, they're all good. They're 100%. They're ready to go. Justin Cooper says he's going to be better than he was. Jet Lawrence is back. Christian Craig is back. Dude, West is looking deep in that top 10. I probably a little bit more excited for the West than I am for the East. Dan?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Ferrandis and Faulkner battle is, dude, that's huge because both those guys want the title. I mean, Faulkner was going to win that title last year before he got hurt, for sure. And I mean, if you want my honest opinion, I think Ferrandis is going to be hard to beat. And you know how I feel about Ferrandis. I don't really care for the guy, but or his riding, but he's got sheer speed, and I think he has enough to rattle Faulkner. I don't want to say that Faulkner's not mental tough, but
he's a little squirrelier.
He needs to learn to back it down 5% and eliminate those stupid little mistakes.
How do you do that when you're going up against Ferrandis? If you back off 5% and you're not keeping up with him.
And that's the problem.
Right?
Ferrandis is a much smoother rider.
Faulkner's got to ride wicked.
Yeah,
and
right on the edge.
And that's not been the best for him. And Ferrandis, that's just the speed he goes. And Ferrandis doesn't throw it away like that. He does some goofy stuff on starts and stuff like that. And remember St. Louis, he crashed in the rhythm section.
He'll torpedo you too.
He'll end Jagger's dad. But he doesn't throw it away on his own by his raw speed, where Faulkner throws it away when he's going that fast. But he has to go that fast from that pace, and he's 13 points down. So if Faulkner wants to win this title with 4 rounds, I mean, you got to gamble, right? All in. You got to go for it as absolutely hard as possible, because I don't think anything less will get it done against Ferrandis. Andy?
No, nothing. I mean, he's going to have to go for the jugular. Not like dirty. Just he's going to have to get a better start,
beat him,
and then just ride, and beat him.
Faulkner told me that he's been in Oklahoma riding a little bit outdoor, and he said he jumped on a Supercross track and spent some laps just to see what it was, and that Robbie Raynard, his coach, said that he looked better than he did while he was racing. And that was a while back. Now give him a few weeks to get back going and get going. I think Faulkner's going to be pretty damn good at these. To me, it all depends on the whoops. Salt Lake's had big ones in the past. It's also had small ones. The elevation kind of will play a little bit of a role in that. But if the whoops are big and gnarly and sketchy, I think that's worse for Faulkner because he's got to get through them so many times. If somehow they're small and it's less of a factor, then I think he could run. I think he could match him. I think he could match Ferrandis, and he will outstart him. You know that he did all year. So I think it's gonna. I think the West is gonna have some weird stuff happen more than the East. I think the East is gonna be a little standard with the two. I think the West is gonna get goofy.
I can see that.
Joe, you got any goofy feelings for the West Coast?
Oh yeah, for sure. The West is stacked. Top 3 riders in the West: Dylon.
Oh my gosh. You just love him, huh?
I think he's just going to blow it out.
Does he give you dad glow?
Definitely.
Does he do for you what Eli does for Dan?
Oh, yeah.
How about Justin Cooper?
I think Justin Cooper is the one that everybody has to worry about, honestly.
Andy?
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to be bringing some heat. But I don't know, man. Dylan's going to be the only thing that's really going to hinder Dylan is his starts. But
the West being deeper now. You got to remember, Jet's back, Christian's back, McAdoo's back. The West is deep, and bad starts cost you when it's tougher. The East, these guys, you can get through. I mean, again, there was 3 rookies, 6, 7, 8. You can get through those guys. The West, you get a bad start, you got work to do. A lot of work to do.
Does Jet win one?
Lucas Myrtle's probably listening right now, and I know he's pounding the tables. He says he is.
I think he's going to win one.
I think so,
You think so?
Yeah. Dude,
Joe?
He's a boss.
I think these Lawrence boys are a force to be reckoned with.
Both?
Yeah,
You
both
were
of them.
a little
but
quiet on
especially-
Hunter. I never even asked you.
Especially Jet for now, but Hunter's on the come up for sure. But yeah, Jet, I think it's not out of the realm of possibilities that he could stand at the top.
Last time we saw him, dude, he was a corner away.
He was balls to the wall.
And that was his third one. Like, he's had some time. And I'll throw that in there as a little bit of a factor for him and Justin Cooper for similar reasons. Justin Cooper last year was his rookie year. Remember, he raced one round the year before that and was out. He didn't get his full season. So last year was his full rookie year, and he was good, right? This year, in his second year, comes out and wins the opener. He's red plate guy. He's up there. He's legit winner, a guy who can win. This break is almost like an offseason away. He's almost like coming into like a third season. You know what I mean? And that goes even for Adam Cincerello, too. It's his rookie season, but he's had a lot of time to digest everything that went down while he was racing. Justin Cooper, too. This is like his third season. This is like Jet Lawrence. It's a continuation of his rookie year, but he's had time to think about what went wrong, what went right, get better, get the bike better. He's a lot different person than he was at Anaheim. And if he's a different person in a better, then Cooper should be a lot better. Lawrence should be a lot better. AC should be a lot better. And I truly believe that those 3 guys are going to be better than when they left off. I do agree, because I feel this is enough of a gap that it allows them to almost have an off season again. And, figure out what went wrong and correct it now. And I expect those 3 guys to really benefit from the break more than anybody.
There wasn't a lot that went wrong with Jet. He had one freak little mistake, but dude, that kid on Supercross is incredible.
Well, he was one mistake away from winning at the age of like 16 and a few months. You know what I mean? Like,
that kid,
it was close, and that was a while ago.
You mark my word, dude. That kid is going to be a legend in our sport.
Think so?
Absolutely, 100%.
Can't argue with that. So does he get a win, Andy?
I got him for a win.
Dan?
Oh, for sure.
For sure?
Yeah.
Joe?
I got him for maybe gold or silver.
Okay, so a second.
Yeah.
I think he gets a couple podiums, but I can't go win yet. Dude, he's going up against Ferrandis, Faulkner, and Cooper. That's 3. I mean, possibly the 3. I mean, you would say without question, of the 5 best 250 riders, throw Shane and Chase into that little group. Those are 3 of the best 250 riders on the planet. And Jet's still a kid. He's talented, man, but you got to beat all 3 of them. That's
dude, he
order.
rides like he's been riding Supercross for 10 years. I mean,
it is weird, dude.
He's a freak of nature.
Who gets the title? Joe? Ferrandis has 8 on Cooper and 13 on Faulkner.
Dylon,
yeah.
Dylon,
Why am I
Dylon.
asking you? Why am I just stupid? Dan?
Dude, I have to regretfully agree. I think Dylon's going to take
See,
it.
he rode a Yamaha 250.
Yeah, look what happens.
He's loyal to his 450 Cowie guys, but 250, he's a Yamaha guy.
No, I wouldn't go that far. I really like my pro circuit guys, but dude, I think Dylon, dude, he's going to be tough to beat.
Andy, title.
Well, I think I'm going to go out on a limb here. I don't know if the starts are going to be in his favor. So I think Cooper might actually be able to get those 8 points.
8 point, and he gets good starts too.
Yeah.
He's been a little 50-50 this year.
God, dude.
They were watching Jordan Smith at the Vegas Supercross crash at 5th gear wide open. That was bad. I think Ferrandis is going to close it down. I think we're in for some squirrely stuff on the West Coast. I think between Jet, Christian's back. Don't forget, the whole Christian Craig Ferrandis thing happened at Anaheim. The very next week, Christian was out in Glendale right away. Never even had a chance to
I think that
return the love.
I think that's done.
So do I, but still.
Oh, I don't
you
think
never
it's done.
know.
I think it's going to come roaring back.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I was teasing that as maybe something, but you're saying, Joe, you're watching that with a close eye.
I don't think there's been a day that goes by that they both haven't thought about that.
I don't think Dylan's thought about it.
Both of
Christian's
them.
been thinking about
Oh, yeah.
it. Really?
Oh, yeah.
So Dylan just wakes up, nice little
Remember
random
that time?
Thursday,
Puts on the YouTube video.
and he's like, "What should I do today?" Started out by watching the video over and over. Oh man, I think Dylan's gonna hold on to it. I think he's a little bit more seasoned than these guys, and I mean he won 3 of the last 4 before the break. So I think Dylan's gonna pull it off, but I think there's gonna be fireworks on the West Coast, and it's gonna be a little more fun than the East.
That's what I'm banking on is those fireworks. So
That's what I want.
I mean, in reality, on paper, Dylan is hands down.
Like he should, right?
Yes, yeah. But
he should win.
I'm kind of, all these unknowns. Who's been training, who hasn't, who's going to be able to handle the adversity as far as getting your temperature checked and not having your man friends and blah blah blah. I mean, granted, I don't think Dylan has all that because of
even him. Like, what is the rules? Like, how him and his wife are a team literally at all times. I got to find out. I mean, it's an important question, right?
Yeah, but as far as like
who are these people allowed to have with them?
Coming from the GP, coming from Europe, he's probably going to be. It's going to be a little more natural to him, I would say,
to be in an environment where you're just locked at a hotel.
Well, yeah, and just not knowing too many people and things. I mean, that's just kind of like when you grow up in the States, everybody you're racing against before you even race against them. Because you're at Loretta's, you're at whatever. You know what I mean? So for him, I don't think it's going to affect him as much. But my point is just the unknowns. Like, is it going to rattle him? Getting your temperature checked every so often and this and that. And, there's on paper, he's the guy, right? On paper. But throw in a few fireworks.
And throw in some weird variables, and then who knows?
I'm taking Cooper.
Wow. All right. What do you think of that, Joe? Andy's going with J. Coop, year 2, gets the title.
I could see it. It's not out of the realm of possibilities.
I mean, what if he's just one season worth better than he was? He's pretty damn good this year, and he's progressing. These guys have had a lot more time on a Supercross track than he has. So for him, every bit of time and experience helps, and he's pretty damn good for having not much. It's going to be good. How about my boy Hartraff? 4th in points right now. Solid start to the season. We going to be all right there? You think he'll do okay?
Heartthrob?
The Throb.
Yeah, I think he'll just be kind of solid about where he was, maybe.
So him and McAdoo, Mosman, that group?
Yeah.
Dude, whenever I think about
the West is deeper than the East.
When he was doing that, because he won that
video game
thing, but he kept saying the whole time, "Dude, I'm tweaking, shut up, I'm tweaking."
He was tweaking. He was nervous. He was winning. He was winning. By the way, no, never mind. Anything else? What do you guys want to talk about before we go?
Who do you think that 450? Let's just do 250 and 450. Who do you think that these last 7 races? Like I'm trying to think of how I say this. Like, who's this going to affect? Like who these last 7 races are big for which rider in particular?
I mean, Tomac and Roxon, right? Because you go through time, these 2 guys should have won.
Not those guys.
Okay, so other guys.
Not title contenders.
I mean, who's in a contract year?
Yeah, Barsha.
There's a lot of 250 guys on a 1 year's deal. Oh, Savachi's back too.
Yeah.
Tickle. There's
Savachi and Tomac haven't raced since the old interview came out either. There's a little bit of
I would agree.
Under the table bad blood there.
I think
Haven't seen anything on that.
I think Barsha.
That's
but
true.
Here's the thing, Andy. What do you think? If Barsha,
I'm such a drama queen, dude. I'm sorry for everyone listening that I'm this way, but I want people to be mad at each other and hit each other. And
hey, say Barsha doesn't get 3rd in points. Say he gets 4th in points. Not a guaranteed contract, but does Yamaha extend that contract to him for getting 4th? Say he gets 5th.
Nope.
You don't think
because Dylan? They'll be going fist first for Dylan. I know KTM thinks they might have him, but but Yamaha.
Let me tell you right now.
Some strings.
Let me tell you right now. Kawasaki's got a pretty strong stranglehood on AC. KTM thinks they have a good shot at Dylan. Yamaha is going to, I believe, spend a abnormal. I don't even know the word. What's the word? Give me the word, Joe.
Absurd
mixed with abnormal. Is there a word that's like kind of both of them together? I'll use a different A word.
Yamaha will give them
astronomical.
Yeah,
I feel like they are going to open checks to Dylan and AC, and I just don't think there's no way they're going to strike out on both. They're going to get one of them.
Dude, I don't. It would be Dylan.
I'm telling you right now. Okay, I know you love Cowie. I know you love AC, but we're going to go around the table right now. If one of them offers you $800,000 and one of them offers you 1.5, which one are you taking? There's no possible way you're going to take half. And I think Yamaha will have the money to do both because don't forget, Monster's involved with both. But Cowie's spending whatever it is their money. Yamaha will have no roster. Who are they going to go after? Dude, AC is to me a once in a generation guy. You got to get him if you can. I think they will offer him Eli Ken money.
Dude, there's no way that Cowie's going to let AC go, period. There's no way. They will give him a blank check.
Kawasaki doesn't have one.
They don't have one.
Yamaha does. Look at
Tomac's got the blank check, and he is raking it in. They can't pay two guys crazy money. And if I'm Yamaha, put it this way, I'm only saying this because if I was Yamaha, I would literally do a one-man team for AC, and I would spend whatever within.
Dude, see, I just
motocross,
think it's different.
reason.
Dude, I think AC is different. Yeah, I get it. It's a huge amount of money, but dude, Cowie has always been behind AC. Always. Through all of his injuries, he grew up on.
Dude, would you switch to Mac Tools right now if they paid you double?
Hell no.
What if it went? What if it
shit
was?
Comes from China.
What if it was $750,000 more?
No.
these
Dude,
riders.
listen to me. Your integrity and pride, you have to put a dollar on that.
Okay.
And
You act like he's riding a
you guys,
dude,
don't
like
even get me
a
started.
bicycle.
Don't even get me started because this goes to the designations.
Oh boy.
I take so much pride in our American flag, and none of these riders do because the top dudes don't go. So they're going to do it for the money, and it's not a diss on them. That's just the American dream. The American dream is to make more money. Because I'm telling you right now, when I was with RCH helping them, we're really deep in with them, and there might have been a slim chance of getting Tomac. Dude, I was like, I couldn't even sleep. I was so excited, and I feel like that Suzuki was better than the Kawasaki. Look at what
You're talking at the end of Honda, right?
Look at what Roxon did. He almost won every single moto like Stewart. I mean, one part failure at Glen Helen cost him 24 motos because late in the year he gave 2 away. Like, why would you even try?
He cruised at the end.
Yeah. So my point is, Eli took the money more than he did racing. Because he's not loyal to Kawasaki. He didn't grow up on Kawasaki's. He didn't race Kawasaki's.
In fact, he grew up and raced Suzuki's his whole life.
He didn't have this loyalty you're talking about. He did it for the money. It was not for the loyalty, or he would have stayed. He would have gone back to Suzuki.
Loyal to Wells Fargo, Dan.
Yeah,
dude, I don't know.
Joe,
we'll have this conversation again.
I know.
with Cowie till he retires.
Okay, and that's fine.
Look at Villapoto, dude. His whole career.
He's on Yamaha.
Yeah, now.
You proved my point. He's
racing.
blue. AC. I'm just saying right now, if I'm Yamaha, what else do they add? I'm giving him keyboards. I'm giving him, what else does Yamaha have, Joe? I'm giving him everything. I'm giving him shares in the company.
Yamaha makes boats. I mean, they could give him half of Japan.
I'm giving him half of Japan if I'm Yamaha. He's he's Cinderella, and they're gonna luck out if they could pull it. They're gonna luck out because Honda's tapped, KTM's tapped, Husky, everyone's tapped with their top guy. Yamaha's sitting there like
Kawasaki
putting their hands together.
Kawasaki has more money than all of them by a far amount. You know that, right?
Yeah, because of you buy how many bikes a year? You buy?
The Kawasaki organization is larger than Honda. Suzuki,
Mr. Honda has more money than Mr. Kawasaki.
Nope.
How?
Dude, Cowie they make huge freaking tractors. They make power tools. They make so much stuff that you just never hear about. KHI, Kawasaki Heavy Industries, is huge worldwide. Huge.
I'm not going to argue something I don't know about. I'm just telling you right now that keep an eye on it. That's all. Dan?
Now, I have a question, though. Do you ever, if the dollar figure is very similar, say Kawasaki's at 1 million, Yamaha's 1.1. Do you feel like the riders sometimes will go, I'm scared to ride a different brand?
Yeah,
because
for sure.
I'm afraid that I might not be good on that bike, so they go ahead and re-sign. But if they would have just got on the other brand, they actually could have been faster?
I believe that if the contracts are close, you would always go wherever you feel you're going to do your best and where you're the most comfortable and where you don't gamble for a $100 raise. You gamble when things are dramatically different. And that's what I'm saying is if you're Cowie right now and you have a budget to play with, it's not going to be the same budget that Yamaha does. And we might be talking, dude, he might already be extended for all that. I don't even know. I'm just saying I would do it if I'm Yamaha, and if it was double the money or similar, I would take it if I was Adam. You don't get to cash in. You get certain opportunities to cash in on who you are and who you're going to be. And dude, if he can pull some crazy psycho money without even having a Supercross indoor title or a 450, it would be a good move for him. I think I would be all in on it. So that's just me though.
I think Yamaha's biting their teeth right now, hoping. Well, not hoping, but nervous about the Barcia thing because that could really affect how they go after
Dude,
somebody.
could you imagine? Go to the last round of the year, dude. Right before temp checks, Yamaha just slips a chili pepper in his burger. Homeboy's at 103.7 for his temp check. Oh, he's not racing.
What about Plessinger? That's going to be another spot that's going to be open, right?
I don't know.
There's no way they're going to bring him back. It's unfortunate.
I don't know.
But he'll be able to. They could actually do with him probably half the budget is what he's on now to help increase the budget to woo or pull in a AC or a Dylan. So I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot going. I mean, Yamaha,
if you spend crazy money on your number one guy, it means you spend less on your number two, which means you could be a little bit pickier and choosier about who you want in that second spot. Shit, it could be Malcolm Stewart, Justin Hill. I mean, these are guys that are on. We keep forgetting about them because they're on the Smart Top team. You don't think of them as factory guys, but man,
I think
Justin
some of those
Hill,
guys
Malcolm
that you're
Stewart,
bringing up, though, they're not. I don't think they want to ride outdoors. Where Yamaha's going to want to be outdoors
for sure.
So,
but actually, you're right. Those two, I doubt would want to. Where Plessinger, I feel bad. I think Aaron, with the ability to prepare, would be really good on outdoor, and he's not really getting that opportunity 2 years in a row. It's really crappy. I don't even know why I'm even talking about this because I'll throw a wrench into my own theory. Heard little side rumblings that the Star Yamaha team might be taking over the 450 Yamaha program anyway next year. And if that's the case, then Dylan might stay. So I heard that, and it might be far-fetched, but I heard that from someone that's somewhat in the know. So anyways, what else? Anything else? Let's go over. Let's really quickly go over what we've all said. I picked Roxon to close out. Right, Joe's got Webb. He's loyal till he DIEs. I know that. I've heard that, especially with Webby, huh, Joe?
That's right.
Dan Tomac.
Oh yeah.
Andy,
I was back on the Web.
You're back on the Web. You're swinging for the fences. 250 East. You guys all said Chase. I said Shane. Joe's pretty high on Hunter Lawrence. You said podium for him too. Dan says no.
6 to 8.
And Andy says yes. Ooh, I never said on that. I'm gonna go. He gets one. The East is a little thinner in my opinion. West Coast, I got Dylan. Andy's got Justin Cooper. Dan's got Dylan, unfortunately. Joe, I don't even have to ask. You all got Jet Lawrence for a dub. Joe says maybe a silver. I'll say a couple podiums. And I think that's about it. Is that it?
Yep.
I think so.
It's going to be good. Do we really have to wait? I mean, I want it to happen tomorrow.
I'm leaving next Wednesday. I'm driving there. This is the crazy part. I run the business side of Eagle Grit. Like, I'm in the office. I'm handling all that. Andy, you know the business side, the AP, AR, all that stuff. I'm going to be there for 24 days. Like, I can't be away from the business that long. I can't be away for 1 day, barely. I'm driving there with all my stuff and turning my hotel room into my full office and running the business straight out of Salt Lake City. Maggie's going to be doing some stuff at home, and then Brian will be doing his stuff. But, like, literally the business is running out of Salt Lake City, Utah for the next month. And that's going to be somewhat of a pain in the ass.
Hey, let's talk about the real superstar real quick. Elena.
Oh, yeah.
Dude. Killing it on the PW50.
I'm giving up on Evan. I think I'm gonna make him retire. I got Elena on a 50, Joe, today. Got a little PW50. And day 3, she is pinning it and trying to jump. And I'm having to yell at her and tell her I'm going to take the bike away if she doesn't stop. She's pinning it and trying to jump through the whoops. Evan, it took him 4 years to even consider something like that. And Elena's just out there, dude. She can't even, she's literally weighs like 40 pounds, tapped on her PW50 on day 3.
Make up to mud.
Make up to mud next year. You got it. I'll be submitting. All right, guys. Good show. That was episode 164. Huge shout out to Fly Racing, Mika Metals, No Toil, EMT Racing, Viral Moto, All Me Creations, Motosport.com, All American Chevy of Clean, screen printing done. Guts Racing. Let's give something away to somebody.
Let's do it.
What do you want to do?
And just another reminder to your listeners, you guys get 21% when you use the main event code, because we had to one-up Steve.
Oh, that's right.
Steve is 20%. And I'm telling you what, the Pulp guys, dude, are crushing you.
What?
Yeah, you people out there in the main event moto world
Are they a letdown?
slacking, man.
Are they letting me down?
Andy blew you out on the Pulp show. I wasn't
What?
going to tell you. Oh, yeah.
On that?
Yeah.
Motoheads. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I'll have to tell you guys,
That's not
though,
cool.
the studio here, I forgot how nice it was. After going to the Pulp show and seeing that rickety studio, I am so thankful to be back in the back cave.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
That's
This is
right.
where COVID originated, right in this bat cave. All right, so 21% off, of course, if you use the code MainEventMoto at gutsracing.com, but I want to give something away for free. So, what do you want to do?
You know, so this is what we did. We gave out 6 T-shirts on Pulp.
Okay.
So let's give out 7.
Yeah, 7 shirts. So how do I do it?
Let's see. How about we do some where we gain some followers for you and I, right?
Okay.
So how about you got to tag Guts Racing and Main Event Moto in a post. We'll do the 7 most creative posts. If you got,
Don't
if you're
ask that from our Motoheads. You don't want to do that.
Okay.
You don't want to do that. We
so
got
I'll go
sickos that listen to the show.
How about top 3 smoke shows? You send your chicks. tag your chicks. No, just kidding. Because we don't need to get mommy all twisted up.
Yeah.
No,
DM Andy pictures of your chick and the first 7. And what's funny is
The hottest 7 get a seat.
the hottest 7 get a shirt.
No, but
Sure.
in all seriousness, I really love the kids and seeing what the kids doing when they're riding. So if you got a kid that rides, go ahead and post them on your feed. Tag Main Event Moto, tag Guts Racing.
And the show title.
Yep, and the show title.
Daddy Glow.
Daddy Glow. And I'll pick 7 dads or moms to get a t-shirt to wear while they're watching their kids ride.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. You hear that, Motoheads? Do it for your kids.
Yes, do it for your kids.
For your kids. Because if you are standing on the side of the track with a gut shirt on, kid will go so much faster because you'll be the coolest kid on the gate. Right?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's
Hey,
do
and
it.
then real quick, last time I was on, we talked about my Moto box.
Yeah.
I posted it. Huge response.
Yeah.
Like, dude, insane. You guys absolutely blew me away. Unfortunately, I ran into a little snafu. Got myself in a little bit of trouble, so I had to pull it down. But stay tuned. We're not done. We're not done
Sit
yet.
tight.
Sit
When
tight.
we know what's up, you'll know. We'll let you
But
know.
yeah, just keep your eyes peeled. But yeah, awesome.
Also want to give a huge shout out to Scott USA and, of course, DRS Suspension with Race Tech. Evans 85 suspension is at DRS. In fact, Andy, where's the seat?
It showed up today.
Did it?
Yep.
I thought I was going to be there on Friday. All right. What's the plan?
We're going to elevate the seat.
No. I'm going to cut it half an inch.
No, we don't cut seats. We do not cut seats at our shop. It's not going to happen.
If you need your seat cut, hit up Andy Gregg in the DMs. Send a picture of your chick. He'll cut your seat. No?
Hey, come on. This ain't Davalos hour.
And with that, we'll end episode 164. See you guys from, I don't think, Joe, we're going to do another one before we go. I'll probably try to pull one off before we go. If not, we got to figure out something.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, what if we do a cardboard cutout of Daniel and you just bring in your own show host and we just have our own?
But you can look
while
at my
he's-
face.
While he's gone.
Right.
And we can ask Daniel stuff and he won't tell us what he thinks about it.
Dude, I'm in.
Vincent said he wants to do the podcast with him, Nick, and you, Joe, and not me.
Oh boy.
And he said his goal is to, within the first 20 minutes, have Racer X call and kick us off the network. So that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Anyways, good show, guys. And we'll talk to you soon, I guess.
Main event motor. Screw it. You know it by now.